I'm here with Rob Relyea, and we're going to talk a little about Connect. Welcome.
Thank you.
First of all, could you tell us about the differences between Connect and Connect for Windows?
Sure. Connect for Xbox and Connect for Windows?
Exactly.
Sure. Well, we have an SDK for Connect for Windows that enables developers to take advantage of a Connect and tap into all of its data feeds and its recognition feeds and build great Windows applications. The sensor for the Xbox, a lot of people have those already in their homes. We can plug those into a PC if you also have a power cord. And you can start experimenting with our SDK and running our samples. There are some capabilities that the Connect for Windows sensor has that the Connect for Xbox sensor doesn't have. And in 1.0, we shipped 3 versions of our SDK yet so far, 1.0, 1.5, 1.6, back in February, May, and October. And in 1.0, the only feature that was different between the two is that the Connect for Windows sensor could see closer. Okay. It basically had a near mode for depth, and it could see at 40 centimeters instead of 80 centimeters. Basically by lowering the intensity of its infrared emitter so that we're able to see closer without as much noise.
Ah, okay.
We also did work in 1.5 to make the color image better, and that work basically enhanced the Connect for Windows color image. Okay. In 1.6, we added a new feature to be able to do to run your Connect inside of a virtual machine, whether you were hosting it on Windows or hosting it on Mac maybe, and that works with the Connect for Windows sensor. We've also added a great feature to be able to change color camera settings so that you're able to adapt to different lighting environments, different exposure settings and things like that. The camera chip is different in both of those things, the color camera chip, and so that only works in Connect for Windows. And we did one more feature. There were some people who were doing clothing scanning with a bunch of sensors, and the different infrared emitters were getting in the way of each other. Yeah. And so we enabled a feature for that kind of scenario to be able to force the infrared emitter off. That only works in the Connect for Windows sensor too. So those are like 5 features that only work with this Connect for Windows sensor. But we want developers to be able to experiment and hobbyists to be able to plug in their Xbox sensor too.
Awesome. Where do you think Connect for Windows technology is going to be in a couple of years?
That's a great question. We've already moved pretty quickly. Just yesterday we announced that we're going to productize Connect Fusion, and which is a great way to build a 3D mesh as you scan around an object. It builds incrementally. So it's hard for me to look out a couple of years and think of where we're going to be. I can imagine having lots of advances in better data streams, better recognition, and a couple of years of talking to customers and talking to developers like you who are using the technology and building features that help you out. So I don't know. The possibilities are endless. Yeah. It really depends on what where developers take it.
Awesome. Cool. What is your favorite implementation from Connect for Windows? Have you seen something, any cool demos or useful things?
Right. Well, I'm excited by a lot of the uses that help people's health. Yeah. So there have been a number of people building physical rehabilitation software. Yeah. So I'm excited by those things. I'm excited by things that teach people things. And also I'm excited by how a lot of different brands are making use of it and making a big splash and getting their name out in front of a lot of people with an impressive experience.
Yeah. What got you started with Connect for Windows?
So I've been with Microsoft for a bunch of years now. Very passionate about .NET development and building great user experiences. I had been working in the WPF and XAML area for a number of years, and for the first time in a bunch of years. I decided I wanted something a little different, and I got excited about Connect for Windows because it was this amazing new data source and lots of new possibilities.
Yeah.
Still leveraging some of the skills I had before in UI technologies, but it gave me a lot of room to grow, to deal with hardware for the first time and things like that. So that's why I was initially interested in Connect for Windows. And actually, there was an MVP who saw the Xbox. The reason I first started talking to the Connect team was because there was an MVP who saw the Connect for Xbox, and they were really excited about it. And they said, "Oh, I want this on Windows." And so I was communicating with the team before the launch, saying, "Hey, this person wants a radiologist to be able to go and navigate through data. What do you think?" And so that's when the conversation started, and that's when I learned about the device, and that's when I got excited.
Have you been on the Connect for Windows team all along, as long as it's been there, or?
Well, we launched the Connect for Xbox in November of 2010. I think in February of 2011 they announced we were going to build a team specifically for Connect for Windows, and in May I joined the team in May of 2011. So I was the 9th or 10th person on the team, and we've grown a bunch since then.
Cool. You had a session here on Build. Could you tell us a little about?
Sure. Yeah, my session was called Connect Programming Deep Dive, and I focused on the first 3/4 of the talk on trying to do as much coding as possible and going through the different data streams that a developer had access to. So I talked a lot about the color image. I started with basically a sample that showed a color image, 30 frames a second, showed a color video. And I made it so that you could click on the image and tell how far away that pixel was, how many millimeters away that was. So I had to add the depth feed there, and then talked about how color and depth cameras are two different cameras, and you need to map between them with the coordinate mapper. I added skeletal tracking, I added face tracking, and then talked about a few of the other things, audio and speech recognition and things like that. So it was an overview, trying to go into a lot of code, trying to give people a taste for what was possible. And then I was excited as part of that talk to help introduce Connect Fusion, which people have seen before from Microsoft Research. But I was very excited to be able to have Chris White, our program manager on our team, come and demonstrate and announce that we were going to productize Connect Fusion in a coming version of the Connect for Windows SDK.
Awesome. What is your favorite feature in Windows 8?
My favorite feature in Windows 8? Well, I ordered a Surface when pre-orders were first available that first day or so, and got one that first Friday that it was available. And I've been enjoying using that, although I've been using Windows 8, of course, for months and months and months. But the thing I'm most excited about with that device is the touch experience and Snap, and being able to view multiple things at one time, to be able to have Twitter on the side and be productive in the middle, or have Twitter and email or whatever. So that's what I'm enjoying the most.
We had a couple of interviews here during Build, and the last question, your first computer?
My first computer was an Apple II Plus in the late 70s, and this was just after, I think my cousins had an Apple II with a tape drive. I don't think I had a tape drive, but I think we were excited when it got 128K of memory. What was yours?
ZX Spectrum. Not as big in the US, but big in Europe.
Gotcha. And what programming language did you first start with? Okay.
Basic.
Yeah, I started with Basic also. I did my homework with it.
Yeah. The first time I got my computer, I played around with my brother's computer. So the first thing I did, I was about 7 or 8. First thing I did was 10 print Jimmy, 20 go to 10. No gaming, just wanted to try that. So somewhere around there I decided I want to be a developer.
Right.
That's my thing.
So I've got one more question for you. So you've been programming some with Connect.
Yeah.
What do you like the best about Connect now, and what would you like to see Connect do in the future?
Ooh. I really love the that you can measure angles between joints for the new SDK. But in the future, ooh, that's hard. I would like to see.
What do you want to do in your living room that you can't now?
I would like to see smaller devices, perhaps in laptops and that kind of thing.
Right.
But actually, I don't miss anything. Maybe faster tracking and that kind of thing, but I really love the product as it is.
Cool. It's great to hear.
Thanks for talking to us.
Sure. My pleasure.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thanks.